That's right. It is time for our very own awards ceremony as we have our Tony Awards, the inaugural Tony Awards for this season, of course. It's the time of the week where all players and managers, no doubt, are tuning in right now to see if they will be awarded an illustrious Tony. So to hand out the Tony, we need a Tony, of course, to do that. And of course, we have one right here in the studio. It's Tony Cascarino. So let's get to our first Tony Award, shall we?
Who are they?
We're going for the performance. Now, we might have said performance of the weekend, but we're going to go with performance of the week.
Okay.
The nominees for this one, Bournemouth, in the fact that their recent performances have been brilliant and they are one of the form teams. There is Chris Wilder and his achievements now at Sheffield United in 2 games in. Yes, he lost to Liverpool, but it was, as you say, a late second goal that they conceded. So, you know, you could take some credit still from that performance. And, of course, they won yesterday as well. And then there's Aston Villa against Manchester City in midweek.
Right. Well, Brentford had 11 players out, so Chris can't win that one.
Thank goodness he's not tuning in right now.
Now we all laugh. Right. So no, although they had a great victory against Brentford yesterday and a good performance against Liverpool, no. Man City losing to Villa, that was a great performance by Villa, my former club, but I'm not going there. I'm going for this one, which is going to be Bournemouth, because I thought their result was extraordinary.
Yay! I'll do the cheering. Well, tell me why. Why extraordinary?
Well, because the way they played. You know, their football was sensational. You mentioned the first goal earlier. Yeah. What move that first goal was. The little flick to finish it in the end. It was just incisive, quick. I mean, look, that manager survived early on, didn't he?
Well, and do you know what? You can give credit to the board. Now, we always say managers should be given patience and time.
Yeah.
But it was a difficult start, and there were a lot of people questioning, was this the right decision? They brought him in to play a different style of football, so we can obviously say that might take a bit of time to impress upon his side.
Yeah.
We are certainly seeing it now.
Yeah, well, they've last 5 Premier League games now, 13 points, which has got them out of trouble. 4 wins, and you look at the teams they've played. I mean, the only draw is the 2-2 against Villa, and we know that Villa are a really good side. They've played some good sides in that period.
Yeah.
And they went to Old Trafford yesterday and played more like Man United than Man United do.
And Antonio Raiola is the first Bournemouth manager to win at Old Trafford. So a famous victory for Bournemouth. OK, let's move on to the biggest disappointment, shall we, of the week. The nominees for this one, Cass, are the handball law. Lots of people unhappy with that.
Yeah.
Manchester United. You've already mentioned the fact that Bournemouth were 3-0 winners there. And also City at Aston Villa.
Well, I don't think it was that big of a surprise City losing, so I won't go there. The handball rule is a bit more complicated. But if I'm voting Bournemouth the performance of the week, it has to be Manchester United.
Yeah.
I don't recognise this football club at the moment. You know, we've all looked at them. They were the benchmark for a period of time under Fergie. They set standards at the very highest level, like Liverpool did previously and like Chelsea, Arsenal have done, and we've watched Man City do. This club is in absolute freefall at the moment, and that performance was typical of where they are. And Man United fans must be chewing nails. They must be, because it's been a horrific period. And yesterday was a result beyond. Even though Bournemouth have been playing well of late, it still is a hard one to take for United fans.
Yeah, OK, so that's Manchester United. And lastly, our next Tony and final award is the best comeback of the week. Could it have been Liverpool's 2-1 win over Crystal Palace? They have scored a league-leading 14 goals in the last 15 minutes of matches this season. Could it be West Ham's 2-1 win over Tottenham? Or what about Raul Jimenez?
Well, Liverpool's turnaround was more to do with, the substitutions by Klopp were massive, and also the sending off played a big impact in there, but I'm not going there with Liverpool. West Ham's was a terrific one against Spurs. Second half performance was good, but I want to go with Raul Jimenez because I've always liked him as a striker, and obviously the head injury that he had a number of seasons ago, and I've never seen him back to even close to his best, really. It's been sad because he was, for a period of time at Wolves, he was one of the best centre-forwards in the Premier League. He led the line brilliantly, good pace, great technique, and watching him get a brace in midweek, it was against Nottingham Forest, but I want to see him. He's scored a few times for Mexico of late, so I'd love to see him back to his best. Really was, because Jimenez is a terrific footballer. If they even can get him close to that towards the end of the season, I really enjoyed him. I'm the big centre forward union here because Real Jimenez, when he's at his best now, he's a pleasure to watch.
Yeah, November 2020 is when he had that head injury.
Yeah.
But as you say, scored a brace.
I hope it's the comeback that he can, get somewhere close to what Mitrovic did with goals and performances. But he's a very gifted footballer.